Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel. I'm Aphrodite, aka Madam Suave. If you are new here, I would like to welcome you to the community. Be sure to check the description box below and like, comment, share, and subscribe if you feel called to. Remember that energy is timeless and fluid. This could be past, present, or future energy. Flip roles if they need to be reversed and only take what resonates, leaving the rest for what it's meant for. The focus of today's message, and kind of something that we are going to see moving forward, at least for a certain period of time, is not allowing temporary emotions to make permanent decisions. Okay, so this is impulse control. Okay, so that is the focus of today's message and potentially going forward. Okay, because this has been a repeating thing coming up. However, there's always different, kind of like themes and avenues within this thing. Okay, and this could also be not necessarily just permanent decisions that you make in life, but also just pertaining to yourself as well, which obviously, I mean, they kind of go hand in hand, but just not allowing temporary emotions to kind of determine or make permanent decisions. Let's see here. The energy that this is kind of reminds me of is one thing that we talked about, right? Is understanding how your world affects everything else around you, right? How everything begins and ends with you. So one thing that I feel like you are doing is kind of being more mindful of yourself, but in order to do that, you have to be, mindful of the most intimate parts of yourself. So right now, it feels like you are focusing on getting to know you, the most intimate parts of you, okay? Being very intimate with yourself. And that means, kind of, like I said, uncovering and understanding your emotions, not necessarily just understanding like, oh, this is how I feel, but understanding like literally the reason behind it, the reason beneath it, kind of uncovering everything, uncovering the different layers of you. You want to know yourself fully because you don't want anyone else to know you better than you, right? Because, even though we may hear, oh, I know you better than you know yourself. And sometimes for some of us, this could be true, especially when we are, this could be someone that we are intimate with. But the thing is, you don't want that to be the case, okay? You want it to be more like it's a shared joke between you two, that they know you just as well as you know yourself, okay? But you don't want anyone to know you better, right? You want to be aware of yourself, because if someone knows you better than you know yourself, then that means you are unaware of yourself, right? It's like more so this is, a joke shared between you guys of them, seeing you just as much as you see yourself, and you're like, bitch, mind your business, okay? Mind your business. You a little loud right now, right? And also, you are less triggered by things when you kind of already know things about yourself, right? It's like, can't nobody tell you nothing about yourself that you don't already know, right? It's something that you can laugh off, something that you can laugh about, joke about. We are continuously growing, etc. Okay, growth is a constant. It's like, it's not something that you have to be ashamed of when you know that you are either working on it, you have worked on it. You're not someone who's kind of like trying to shut out your flaws. You're like, bitch, this is me in all my full and glory, and it's not necessarily saying take me as I am, flaws and all. It just means that those flaws, you are taking those and you are alchemizing them to be the best version of yourself, okay? The highest version of yourself. Also practicing mindfulness, because your actions do affect other people, and if they affect other people, they also affect you as well, right? So everything is cause and effect. Also, this is giving you clear direction, right? Understanding yourself better, because sometimes you could just do things all willy-nilly. You're just doing things because, I don't know, like maybe you're just trying to figure things out, which obviously there's nothing wrong with that, okay? Like I said, Earth is a school you come to learn, right? So, and you do learn through experiences. However, it's like sometimes, you can make things easier for yourself when you actually know yourself, so you don't have to just be doing things and you realize, like, kind of like wasting time, okay? Wasting time. Now, and I would like to say, that technically it's not a waste of time if you learn something, but it is wasting your time if you learned something but didn't like apply it, or you didn't learn anything, okay? If you learned nothing, absolutely nothing, then yes, I would say that is a waste of time, okay? And if we're talking about impulse control, then that means we also want to control our emotions, right? So that we are not making any impulsive decisions, so we are not acting impulsively, which means understanding your emotions, being able to control your emotions, right? Because your emotions do influence the decisions that you make. Now, this is not always bad, okay? Sometimes, like I said, you can make good decisions based on your emotions, but those emotions must be balanced, okay? You must be balanced in your emotion, not controlled by your emotions, okay? Because maybe you were looking outside of yourself, and this could have been because you were lacking some sort of identity, okay? So maybe you felt directionless and you couldn't really figure out, which way to go, and so you were maybe looking for some sort of direction, or meaning. But it's like, when I also when I say, you are coming out of being influenced to the one influencing, is this means to understand emotion, right? Because sometimes for some people, they don't know when they are being influenced, because it's like they are unaware of their own emotions. When I say you are coming into the one, being the one to influence, I mean this as in You are understanding the power of emotions, okay? Raw, authentic emotion. You are understanding how that is very, very powerful. Emotions, those are personal to you, okay? This is an energy that you are feeling, an energy that you are radiating. You are learning your energy in its most purest form. You're learning your energy in its most purest form and kind of understanding how that is magnetic, how that is attracting. Like I said, it's going to attract your soul family, okay? This attracts the people that you are meant to connect with because it is your rawest form of yourself. You want people who are willing to go to the depths to meet you, okay? You want people who are willing to go to the depths to meet you, who are not looking at you, just from surface level. And I'm so sorry, guys. I know that I probably haven't talked about it in a while, but the fact that I have already talked about it in other videos, sometimes it kind of annoys me. I actually really, really hate I hate feeling like I'm repeating myself, and I know it's just because constant themes, and then you have people who are on different levels. So sometimes you backtrack to go back to what I'm saying. It's always gonna be people coming in, people going out, people coming in, people going out. So, but anyways, it's to me it's a little annoying. I just don't like to know that I'm repeating myself. Even today, I was like, let's practice pausing in between talking and avoid filler words and speech, but I don't think that's going to work because I just find silent pauses to be very awkward. Silent pauses to be very awkward. I don't know. I feel like you just need something to kind of go into the next. You know what I'm saying? But anyways, but yes, what was I saying, child? Oh Lord. So you are using this influence for good. You are kind of treating yourself and life as art, okay? As art. And you are creating art. You are, I don't even know what to say. It's life is now more so a creative process. It's especially if you are someone who is a creative, okay? It's just everything about life. You just, this is one thing that I said before. I was I literally view life as art. Did I say poetry? I don't even fucking know, y'all, because I like poetry. I don't remember exactly what I said, but that's kind of how I view a life, and that's kind of how a lot of things make sense the way that it does in my head, child. Okay, yes, and this is something that we had kind of talked about. Is it's you're kind of feeling, maybe you are more so being in the moments now, but it's kind of you're feeling your way through life. So not necessarily just kind of thinking about everything, and whew, whew. It's almost you are kind of relying on your emotions to give meaning to things, right? So not necessarily trying to figure everything out purely, logic based, but it's almost because yes, if your emotions represent depth, then your emotions also help you to see things in more depth than the logical mind could. So it's also finding balance between that, the head and the heart, logic and emotions, okay? So for some of you who maybe you have struggled with some sort of self-identity issues, etc., you may be trying to find balance between social media intake, because one thing that I said was, if you are someone who kind of struggles with finding yourself, defining yourself, you have struggles with self-confidence, that social media might not be the best place for you. However, there are people who have healthy influence, okay? Healthy influence, not people who are influencing and kind of I don't really know what to say about that. More so where you are learning, right? So it's not you are watching someone, they're influencing, and you're oh, I want to be just like them, yada yada. It's no, they are influencing you. Ooh, and yes, and this is one thing I said the only kind of influence that I want to have is for you to be yourself. I only want to influence others to be themselves and recognize their own power, because like I said, I don't like follower behavior. I don't like follower behavior. I want you to be your own leader, right? And it's you cannot be a leader until you lead yourself, okay? The first person you need to be leading is yourself. If you cannot lead yourself, you cannot be a leader in any other capacity. So healthy influence, balance between social media for some of you, okay? Now also though, let's see, because we do have some love energy that is here, okay? And I'm I don't even know, how do I want to go about this? I'm talking about the self. So this could be self-love, but also for some of you, this is going to pertain to relationships as well. And I mean, they kind of go hand in hand, right? Because the way that you love yourself is going to kind of determine what your relationships look like and what you kind of accept and put up with or tolerate. So the more that you kind of learn yourself, the more that you uncover yourself, the more that you kind of are focusing on the beauty of you, uncovering your own beauty and what that means for you, you're learning to appreciate what you have. And it's when you appreciate what you you have, you are less willing to gamble that, right? So this comes back into impulse control. You're not going to sit here and gamble your life if you appreciate your life, okay? Things of that sort. Now this could be also possessions as well, but one thing about it too is because one thing that I said was if you cannot appreciate what you already have, you're never going to be able to appreciate anything that you get, right? If learning how to find happiness within the right now and not waiting for some sort of destination or something to make you happy, because that is not how happiness works, okay? Happiness is an energy and happiness is also a choice, okay? Happiness is a choice. And this could also be about people, you know, it's like if you appreciate them, then you should treat them like you appreciate them. But also in appreciating yourself, you are learning not to settle, because maybe for you, for some of you who you were not seeing your full worth, you were not seeing your full potential, you were not seeing like everything that you were, you could have been settling for someone or putting up with someone because maybe you thought, oh, I can't do better than this, or, you know, I'm not going to get better. And the fact that, you know, they love me the way that I am, you know, I'm kind of going to stick with it. You are letting go of that mindset because you know that you are capable of growing, okay? You know that you are capable of growing and you're not stuck in the place that you're in, right? So you shouldn't be stuck with someone else who maybe you don't necessarily want to be with, who you could be simply tolerating because maybe of a mindset that you did have or some sort of like limit that you were placing on yourself. But also in settling, this means that you are not self-sacrificing and you are not kind of sacrificing what you need to say just because you love someone, okay? Because I know that it can be harder when you do love someone. You don't necessarily want to say certain things or maybe like hurt their feelings, or maybe it's something that they're doing for you that you appreciate, and because you appreciate it, you don't want to, you know, kind of, maybe you don't want to seem, you know, ungrateful or unappreciative, or you stay with people because of, you know, the fact that they do love you in such a way, but you're still unhappy, okay? Because it's not fulfilling you emotionally, okay? Something that's not fulfilling you emotionally. And so maybe they provide something, you know, this could be some sort of, you know, financial, or maybe there's someone who, you know, they may give you a lot of things, gifts, etc. Things of that sort. It's like it's almost like they do everything right. It's like they do everything right, but you still can't figure out like why, you know, like why isn't something clicking? You guys just might not be emotionally compatible, okay? And like I said, this could be something that you are discovering the more you kind of get to know yourself, if this is something that you have been in for a very long time, all right? Also, when you do not see your own worth, you could be thinking that someone is settling for you, and it's like they're not settling for you. This person like actually really loves you, okay? This person loves you, and maybe it's just hard for you to believe that they do love you. But one thing I was going to say is like when you love someone or something, obviously it's going to take work to upkeep. So if someone is willing, if they are willing to kind of work with you and work on your relationship, then that tells you a lot about, you know, how much you mean to them, how much they appreciate you. But it shouldn't feel forced, okay? Nothing should ever feel forced is one thing I'll say. So if it doesn't feel natural, then yeah, something may be off, okay? But when someone is putting in effort, okay, when they are putting in effort, it says a lot, because it shows that they're not just trying to kind of like talk you into anything or try to convince you of anything, but they're showing that they are willing to put action behind it, right? So when their words are aligning with action. We were talking about yesterday how for some of you it was like maybe you need to spice up your love life, right? Because it's like when you get something, you can't just get it and then it's like, okay, now what? And then you just stop doing everything that you were doing before, or you stop showing this person. Yes, this could be love languages, okay? Maybe you are kind of learning your love language, learning their love language, and then understanding that you have to kind of, it's not just about how you receive love, right? It's also being able to kind of communicate in their love language as well. You can't just get the person and then you're not doing anything to kind of show them that you are still dedicated to them, to show them that you love them, etc. It's like continue to date them. Because one thing that I had said before, one of like the older mindsets that I had, one of my biggest fears about, you know, love, relationships, especially when it came to, because like I said, for a while I did feel like I had, you know, commitment issues or something, but for a while it was more so a fear of like, not only was I afraid that maybe I'm gonna get bored, I'm like, well, what if they get bored, right? But then it's like you have to understand that you guys are constantly growing, right? So you constantly, and it's like when you are constantly growing with one another, but also separately on your separate paths. So you are on a path that is together, but you're also on your separate path as well. So it's like you guys are continuously growing, and then so you are continuously meeting one another, right? It's not that you know each other and this is just it. No, you have to like re-meet each other, okay? Reintroduce yourselves. And this is why it is important to have separate lives, okay? So that you can continue to re-meet each other, and it's not just something where you are just stuck to the hips and y'all know everything and now it's like nothing else to learn, nowhere else to go. It's knowing that love is a journey and not a destination. But y'all, I said I kind of got over that because I'm like, I got so many personalities. Like if you get tired of Shaquita, Renisha will be here. So it's like, and if that don't work, shoot, you may be more fitted for the circus, okay? The circus may be more suitable for you because I don't know. I'm like, I think it's impossible to get bored. But that's just me, because I'm like, I never get bored with myself. Like, I have a ball. Because I put it out there. I was like, some of you need to, you know, spice up your love life. And I'm guessing I didn't understand that maybe you guys could be asking for some sort of advice, because I'm like, I don't know what's going on in your badoop room or what's not going on. All I know was, you know, it's smelling a little stale in here, okay? No offense, guys. Y'all know I just be joking, okay? But there was a smell of stale, okay? So this is what I'm saying. Like, I don't know. Some of you, this could be like a trust building thing. Like, maybe there was some infidelity here, okay? And I do not condone infidelity. How? Let me take it one step at a time. Let me take it one step at a time real quick, okay? But anyways, so for some of you, you know, some trust exercises may be good, but not just, no, you know, I'm sitting there, you're sitting there, and y'all two are going to like counseling, like couples counseling and stuff. You know, you don't have to be boring with it. Like, combine trust and also fun, right? Because you want to have fun with each other. You want like that. You want to kind of revive the energy that you felt when you first met this person, right? You guys are trying to come back together. So it's almost like you have to treat it like you guys don't know each other, okay? You have to treat it like you don't know each other and like you are meeting for the first time. And especially if this is someone that you're trying to get back, you gotta pretend like this is just, you know what I'm saying? Don't assume anything because you already know them. Treat them like you are relearning them, okay? Whew. Yeah, so when I'm saying, you know, combine trust and fun, maybe some obstacle courses, okay? Ooh. Oh my goodness, okay. This is so sad, y'all. This is so sad, but maybe do something where y'all are forced to work together, where you're forced to work together, but it's also fun. So literally this could be like the escape room, going on an obstacle course, you know, some sort of like something adventurous, okay? Something adventurous, you know, somewhere where you gotta play damsel in distress, even though you're fine, girl, but somewhere you gotta play damsel in distress. You can see, you know what I'm saying? It's like, kind of what I'm saying is do something where, you know, teamwork is involved or something like that. Some sort of like teamwork, team building, something like, I don't know, child, just do something. Anything is better than nothing. From what I can gather, anything is better than nothing, okay? Another thing too, okay, because we were picking up on infidelity energy. So one of the things that I was getting is someone needs to communicate rather than, you know, choosing infidelity. Now, I do not condone infidelity in any way, shape, or form. However, it's like you are learning or having to learn not to internalize infidelity as something that it says about you. However, it is an opportunity to reflect, okay? It is an opportunity for self-reflection. This does depend on the circumstances of that infidelity, okay? So, like, say someone, maybe they were communicating with you, they were saying something, but you kind of shunned them out, and it's almost like, or you kind of pushed this person into someone else's arms because you were not providing that space. Okay, so there's instances like that, and I'm not saying that it is correct or anything because they could simply just leave, okay? They could simply just leave. And, you know, yes, sometimes things do happen. Sometimes people fall into temptation. Like I said, I'm not going to keep repeating myself, but I will say that I do have to look at things from a level-headed perspective, and I do tend to be a very level-headed person. So while if I was actually in the instance, I would totally understand if you lost your shit, okay? So I'm not saying anything about that, but like, I understand that everyone has emotions, okay? And I know that shit hurts. We can't always be perfect, and also you can't necessarily determine how you're going to feel in the moment until something like that happens, right? So as much as, you know, we can do all our breath work and and sometimes, you know, you can get that actually in the moment, it doesn't work out like that. So especially it depends on, you know, how. Anyways, a lot of things, a lot of factors that kind of go into that. I can't pick up where I left off, so sorry if it's like spotty right now, but yes, like I was saying, so you cannot allow infidelity to kind of alter your perception of yourself or your own worth. Oh yeah, that's what I was saying, okay? So it really depends on what the circumstances is, okay? There's so many circumstances of infidelity. Oh yeah, that's what I was gonna say, okay? So yes, sometimes people can fall into temptation. Sometimes for some people, and they should have just said something, like I said, sometimes some people need to go off, and especially if this is someone who you've been with for a very, very long time, okay? Sometimes people, like I said, we learn through experiences, and so sometimes you have to actually go and see what else is out there, kind of explore to see like if this is something that you really want. Now, like I said, and this is kind of like the show Ultimatum, right? Which I think was stupid, because I'm like, y'all could have just did this like at home. Like, why didn't y'all just say, okay, let's take a break, we want to see if this is what we really want? Y'all could have just literally did that on your own and not did it on TV. But anyways, child, I know it's just for entertainment purposes, but whatever. And honestly, I've always said, breaks are terrible, because usually during breaks, you realize why. Should I be like that person? I'm not saying that taking a break is always bad, but I know every time someone says they want to take a break with me, it's over. It's still coming back from that. It's just over. But that was in my younger days, because most of the time I was looking for an excuse not to be there anyways. So, like I said, I was young, and y'all know me, I'm gonna be honest. Also, using this for a time of self-reflection. So it's like, were you missing something? Is there something that you were missing? Were you kind of in a situation where it was like, I don't even know. And maybe you weren't seeing things in the beginning. Like, maybe it was something that you were not seeing from the beginning, okay? How you were choosing them, how you were picking them. Especially, ooh, yes. The like the saying, you lose them how you get them, okay? Things of that sort. So this is just things to be mindful of, okay? Things to be mindful of. Paying attention to how people are in their relationships. Maybe learning this, okay? Learning this about someone before you get into a relationship with them. But also self-reflection. This could be, some of you may be reflecting on the fact that maybe you were someone who participated in infidelity. Maybe you're learning that you could have just communicated with this person or something of the sort. I don't know, y'all. My brain is super hyperactive right now, so I might have to come back and it's gonna be better. I'm gonna word some things, because I don't really my brain is not, it's not doing what it needs to do today. Let me hurry up, child, because it's too much time on the clock. I ain't got the time. So also, for some of you, it's like you missed what you had because of focusing too much on others, that you couldn't see or recognize your own beauty. So your beauty is beyond physical appearance, okay? And this is something that you are realizing, okay? It's like your beauty is something that radiates from the inside. It radiates from the inside out. Your depth is what gives you a natural beauty. And it's like, when people finally do meet you, it's like you give them a nice surprise, a good surprise, not a terrifying one, okay? Which is what some people got. It's like you're with a person and then they, surprise, it's something out of a horror movie, okay? You are shocked. You don't want a bad shock, okay? That's what you don't want. You don't want a bad shock. You don't want to get with somebody and then they turn into a demon. That's not what you want, okay? You want to be with someone and then they continuously surprise you in a good way, okay? It's like I said, you continuously are meeting this person, all right? For now, I'm so sorry, y'all. I'm so sorry. Oh, you know what it is? Yeah, today Wednesday. Today's Wednesday and my brain's like pew 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 pew. I wanted to do it more because I was gonna do it more times than that, because sometimes when you start doing something and then it just don't feel right, you gotta do it a certain amount of time and then it feels better. But anyways, yes, it's been a time, guys. It's been a time. I'm gonna go ahead and end the video. I swear, I'm gonna watch it back and it'll be more orderly. Hopefully, it'll be more orderly once I get it edited. Yeah. Okay. Well, that's all I have for you guys today, folks. If you enjoyed this message, I do ask that you like, comment, share, and subscribe if you feel called to. And I'll see you guys on next time. Love you all. Bye.